He bit through it. That's why the red tape is there. Kitty boy.
And I may end up squirting this in his mouth as opposed to his nose.
I know. Hey, bud. You want to come out here and say hi? I know. Yeah, he can go. I know.
He doesn't have claws, so.
Does he know that?
Fisher.
Fisher.
I'm sorry, it embarrasses me when he's like this. Oh my word.
Okay, get your back out there. Easy, easy. Oh, okay.
Do you want me to take this down, or is it fine?
Yeah, you can. Oh, good kitty. There you go.
Good boy.
Luckily, they give you extra than you need.
So we think it's all in there?
It's not all in there, but if they get
enough.
at least a drop in the vicinity.
Fisher. Oh, God.
Open your mouth and your eyes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's gonna leave you now.
I'm sorry. Fisher.
Yeah. You need drugs. Dude.
So usually when they have this issue, it usually escalates every time.
Yeah.
We do better when we can get them in with, like, if we can have a quiet waiting room. The shorter the wait, the more.
Yeah,
we
we waited 40 minutes, and he was in the car for 10. So
yeah, so the more of a car ride, the more that there's dogs out there, the more that dogs have been in the room that day, the more there is to stimulate him, the worse he's going to be. Some dogs are, or some cats are bad no matter what. Like if you stepped out your front door and brought him here, he'd be bad. He's really to the point where that we really can't do anything without some kind of sedation. Really next time around, because it just becomes unsafe for everybody. He can bite through the gloves. If he would have really tried to bite, they're faster than we are for sure, and they'll bite through the gloves. So we have two choices as far as for future reference when we need to do things. For routine visits, we can give a tranquilizer. If he's sick, we won't want to do that because that's going to potentially make things worse, and who knows what's going on with him.
Okay.
But if it's like a routine visit, we can try a tranquilizer that you give about 2 hours before the appointment.
How do I give that?
You can sneak it in some tuna or some canned food.
Okay.
And that can be helpful. Now, usually that doesn't make them all the way out. They look really sleepy, and you start to mess with them, and they'll still try to get you and growl.
Is that what you do when you fly with cats to like relax them? Because when we moved out to Charlotte, we weren't sure how he would react to the drug, and we gave it to him like a trial run the week before.
Yeah.
We went to this barbecue like an hour away, and he stayed in the car, and that's when he chewed through this thing.
It doesn't. It's not. I kind of feel the level that he is. He's not just kind of growly and a little hissy. He's worse. I have a feeling that the tranquilizer wouldn't be enough.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, when we ended up flying out, we did not use it and he actually was wonderful. He growled a couple times when we took off, and then when we landed, but the rest of the flight was a 4-hour flight. The rest of the flight, he was silent. So
it'd be great if you could call and find out what it was, just to make sure that it's the same thing. Because that's not really a side effect of them being hyperactive. Some medications that is a side effect, but not that.
I probably still have it in his file, but we did the trial run, and he was, to chew through his brand. I mean, it was brand new. We had just got it, and he was just crazy. So we're like, well, we're not going to do this on the airplane with.
He would, if we were going to try, I'd probably recommend a first thing in the morning appointment or first thing after lunch appointment.
Okay.
Like the 2 o'clock or the 7:30 or 8. But
okay.
I really feel like, honestly, he's going to be the type where we're going to have to sedate him with a gas anesthetic. So what we do is we have a box, and we take them directly from the carrier into the box, put the lid on. It takes about 15 minutes.
Okay, and they just breathe.
And they breathe it. They kind of feel a little funny and woozy in there, but they go to sleep. As soon as we cut the gas off, it is like 2 minutes before they're awake again. They kind of look a little funny, and then they're pretty much awake. It's a very quick wake up. It takes a little bit to go to sleep. We are able to do a full exam and everything we need. I don't like to manhandle them when they're aggressive. You can, even if we even if we just try to just muscle them in and wrap them and do a bunch of stuff, they'll make themselves so upset that they can start to get fluid in their lungs and die. And I've seen that. So sometimes, even though it sounds kind of like, oh, gas anesthetic, it sounds like a lot. Sometimes it's just better.
And how much does that cost?
I think it's about $35.
Okay.
I think, and then the exam charge. So if we were thinking we were going to have to do that sometime, then we'd want to hold him off breakfast, hold him off food.
Okay.
Even if he was sick, if he's a sick boy sometime, and they usually have to be excessively sick for us to handle.
Yeah, he's never sick.
So we probably have to, so if he ever needed to come in for vomiting or diarrhea, just still try to hold him off food so we could, because that might be an option we might have to do.
He is the sweetest, friendliest, most well-behaved cat, and
oh yeah, they typically are. It's funny, they are very different. It's experiences in that just
yeah,
they remember, and he's never going to go back. I mean, it's almost always gets worse.
Yeah.
It hardly ever gets better unless we just do like a quick thing, like the thing in the nose or some little thing, and we can do it. But most likely, even if best case scenario, like if nothing else was going on, I still only think I could maybe listen to his heart and kind of look at his face, and that's.
So were you able to examine what you needed to? No.
All I could just see that he doesn't have much tartar on his teeth. His eyes look pretty clear, and his voice works really well. So that's about all I could tell. So it really, so we aren't going to charge for an exam today. But if he has a problem or an issue, then we'll want to do a thorough exam.
Sure.
That'll probably mean a gas anesthetic.
Okay. Well, that's good for my husband to know.
I guess he'll be able to see now.
Yeah.
Not only the danger to us, because if he bites us, then he really needs to be reported. I mean, that's really kind of, we just have to, and then it's a 10-day quarantine. So that's why I try to avoid those situations for one. And then secondly, it makes him worse. And then thirdly, he can get so stressed out that they'll open mouth, can't breathe, and then they can die. So
well, he was very upset, very upset.
Yeah.
So
yes, I would say so. So really, kind of today is a little bit of a bust. I think we got a little bit of that vaccine in there, the kennel cough vaccine. The core vaccines are the distemper vaccine. That is going to be essential when that's due. That's another one we typically will do in the nose. So that one I probably want to try to get us the Bordetella. I think a little goes a long way with that. I feel pretty good about that. But the other one, when it's time for that, we really might have to sedate him because we really want to try to get all that in.
Okay.
And he's indoor only? Okay, so he doesn't need the other ones. That's good. So like the leukemia and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't have claws, but
it's really the teeth that are the scariest. They, the claws, will get scratched up, but there's the teeth that can make your hands swell and can cause some pretty bad infections.
Yeah.
So.
He's bit some little kids when they've come over, and we're trying to train